dear friend, to the 4th episode of Practical Ways to Cope with Grief, Life After the Loss of a Loved One. This is Through the Tunnel of Grief. I am Theodora. In this space, we explore ways to nurture ourselves and loved ones through the many shapes and seasons of grief, from the raw ache of losing a loved one to the quiet heartbreak of divorce or separation. This podcast is here to inform, inspire, encourage, and remind you that you are not alone. So let's walk this tunnel together. You don't have to walk through it alone. So far, in this series, we have explored how support systems, writing, and gardening can help us cope with grief. Today, we will talk about something a little different, but equally powerful: the comfort of pets in the dark hours of grief. I know not everyone is an animal lover, but hear me out. For me, pets were not just animals. They became companions, listeners, and healers in ways I never expected. I want to share with you how my pets, the cat, dog, fish, and even doves, gave me comfort when grief felt unbearable, and how they might also become part of your healing journey. Over the years, I have had several pets. Each one played a role in my life, but some became anchors during my grief. I remember my cat Primrose. She was gentle and observant. She also knew when I was sad. On days when I couldn't find the strength to get out of the bed, she would come and lay at my feet. Sometimes she would curl right beside me, almost as if to say, "I am here, you're not alone." Then there was my fish. Yes, fish. It may sound strange, but they too became part of my healing. Whenever I sat by the aquarium, talking softly about my struggles, I noticed something curious. One fish could swim toward the glass and just stay there, as if it were listening. I couldn't explain it, but that simple act gave me comfort. It was like I had someone to talk to, someone who didn't judge, didn't interrupt, just listened. I also had 2 doves that I adopted when they fell off a tree, and I waited for their mom to come back, and she didn't. So I took them in. Their cooing became background music to some of my loneliest days. Watching them reminded me of freedom, of peace. And of course, my dog Duke, with its boundless energy and loyalty, gave me a reason to move, to walk, to care, even when I wanted to hide. Each pet in its own way gave me more than company. They gave me purpose. They needed me to feed them, to care for them, and in caring for them, I began to care for myself too. So why do pets help us cope with grief? The first one, unconditional presence. Pets don't expect you to get over it. They don't tell you it's time to move on. They just sit with you. That kind of acceptance is rare and deeply healing. The second one, a sense of responsibility. Grief can make even basic tasks feel overwhelming. Having a pet gives you a reason to get out of bed, to prepare food, to go for walks. Small responsibilities become lifelines. The third, physical comfort. The warmth of a cat curled up against you, the nudge of a dog's nose, the sound of birds cooing. These simple physical experiences can calm anxiety and bring peace. The fourth one, emotional connection. Many grieving people talk to their pets, and that's okay. In fact, it's healing. Pets become safe companions who absorb your words and emotions without judgment. And lastly, joy and distraction. Watching a playful puppy or curious cat can bring laughter in moments when you thought joy was impossible. Some practical guidance. If you're wondering how pets might become part of your healing journey, here are a few suggestions. The first one, adopt or foster if you're not ready. If you have the time, space, and resources, consider adopting a pet. If adoption feels too big, fostering can give you short-term companionship without long-term commitment. The second one, start small. If caring for a dog feels overwhelming, try something simpler. A cat, a fish, a bird, even a plant can give you a sense of companionship. The third, borrow joy. If you can't have pets where you live, spend time with a friend's pet, volunteer at an animal shelter, or simply visit a park where people walk their dogs. Even borrowed moments with animals can be soothing. And lastly, create routines with your pet. For me, feeding Primrose or watching my fish became little pockets of calm in the storm of grief. Find your own routine. Morning walks, evening playtime, quiet sitting. Let's pause for a moment. Take a deep breath in and out. Now reflect. Have animals ever brought comfort to you in times of sadness? If you already have a pet, what small routine can you create with them in this week that brings you peace? If you don't have a pet, could you seek comfort by spending time with animals in another way, through a friend, a neighbor, or even time in nature, observing birds or butterflies? Take a moment to think about it. If you can, write down one way you'll invite an animal companionship or nature's companionship into your grief journey this week. Dear friend, grief can be unbearably lonely. Pets can't replace the ones we've lost, but they can remind us of companionship, comfort, and life's simple joys. Whether it's a cat at your feet, a bird in the sky, a fish swimming gently, these little beings can hold space for your grief in ways words cannot. In our next episode, we will explore another creative way to cope with grief: doodling, drawing, and painting. Even if you don't consider yourself an artist, you'll see how these simple acts can bring calm and expression when words fail. Until then, may you find comfort in the companionship around you, whether human, animal, or both. You are not alone in this tunnel of grief. Take care, dear friend.